Caracas, 2019. A man walks into a pharmacy with a gold chain worth $600. He isn't there for jewelry cleaner. He is trying to buy amoxicillin for his daughter's infected tooth. The pharmacist looks at the gold, looks at the man, and shakes his head. Not because the gold isn't real, but because the medicine isn't there. There is no amoxicillin in the entire district. 3 blocks away, a woman trades a bottle of cheap rum for a 10-day course of that same drug from a neighbor who stockpiled veterinary antibiotics before the shelves went bare. That bottle of liquor cost her $2 before the collapse. That bottle of liquor just outperformed an ounce of gold, not in theory, but in reality, on a Tuesday afternoon in a country sitting on top of the largest proven oil reserves on the planet. Most people believe gold is the ultimate crisis asset, the final backstop when the world falls apart. They are wrong. Gold is an excellent store of value, but in a real collapse, a genuine systemic failure where supply chains disintegrate, gold has a fatal flaw. You can't drink it, you can't swallow it to kill an infection, and you can't plant it to harvest food. There are 3 items that in every documented economic collapse of the last century consistently commanded higher barter value than precious metals. The first is hard spirits. Berlin, winter of 1923. The mark is dead. Farmers outside the cities refuse paper currency entirely. If you want eggs, you bring something real. In the back alleys and cramped apartments, one item moves faster than anything else: schnapps. Not fine wine, but cheap, high-proof grain alcohol. It is portable, divisible, and doesn't spoil. More importantly, it serves more functions than currency ever did. In a collapse, hard spirits are an anesthetic when there's no dentist, a disinfectant when there's no iodine, and a preservative for meat when there's no refrigeration. They are also a social tool that builds trust between strangers long enough to complete a transaction. Data from the Weimar Republic, the Argentine crisis of 2002, and Venezuela in 2018 shows that alcohol greases deals that would otherwise stall. Paper currency requires institutional trust. A bottle of liquor requires only your senses. You can see it, smell it, and taste it. Its value is self-evident. A single bottle of mid-shelf vodka costs you $10 today and lasts indefinitely. In a crisis, it becomes a medical tool, a barter instrument, and a morale booster simultaneously. Gold does one thing, spirits do 6. The second item is antibiotics. This is the one that should terrify you because it reveals a fundamental vulnerability in modern civilization. In a functioning society, a tooth infection is a minor inconvenience. In a collapsed society, that same infection can kill you. Before 1928, infected cuts and abscessed teeth were leading causes of death. When Venezuela's pharmaceutical supply chain fractured, hospitals ran out of basic medicine. Shortages exceeded 85%. People with simple infections died like medieval peasants. Those who had stockpiled antibiotics, even veterinary ones with identical molecular compositions, held the most valuable commodity in the country. It was more valuable than food because you can scavenge food. It was more valuable than gold because gold cannot stop sepsis from spreading through a child's body. In prolonged crisis scenarios, medical supplies sit at the apex of the barter hierarchy because they have 0 substitutes. You can improvise shelter or water filtration, but you cannot improvise ciprofloxacin. Right now, in many places, antibiotics like fish mocks are sold over the counter for aquariums. They are often manufactured in the same facilities as human medication. A $20 supply of broad-spectrum antibiotics could one day be worth more than a $1,000 gold coin because the gold is inert while the medicine is life. Everything discussed so far, however, is a spent asset. Once you trade or consume alcohol and medicine, they're gone. This leads to the third and most powerful item: heirloom seeds. Argentina, 2002. As the middle class smashed ATMs, small paper packets of tomato, squash, and bean seeds were trading at astronomical rates. A packet that once cost 40 cents was moving for $20 worth of goods. The reason is biological compounding. A single packet of heirloom tomato seeds contains the potential for hundreds of pounds of food. Because they are heirlooms, not hybrids, you can save the seeds from your harvest and plant them again the following year and the year after that, perpetually. This is the only barter item that is simultaneously a survival tool, a renewable food source, and an asset that appreciates. The World Bank found that as a crisis extends from months into years, people stop asking, "What do I need today?" and start asking, "What will keep me alive next season?" That is the moment seeds surpass gold. Gold does not turn sunlight into calories. Historical accounts like When Money Dies show that during hyperinflation, the power shifts to those who control food production. Urban elites in Germany traded fur coats and family silver for potatoes because farmers held the means of survival. Seeds are the gateway to that power. Even a small balcony garden can provide a surplus, and surplus is the definition of wealth in a barter economy. But the seeds must be heirloom. Hybrid seeds are designed for single-season use. Their offspring are often sterile. Heirloom seeds are self-replicating wealth. Gold protects you on day one of a crisis. Alcohol protects you in week one. Antibiotics protect you in month one. But seeds protect you in year one and every year that follows. The longer a crisis lasts, the more valuable seeds become. Where does this leave the modern prepper? Genuine preparation isn't about accumulating the most expensive assets, it's about accumulating the most useful ones. $100 split between vodka, antibiotics, and heirloom seeds provides more real-world insurance than a small gold bullion. This isn't because gold is worthless, but because you can't drink it, you can't use it to cure an infection, and you can't eat what grows from it. Every collapsed empire leaves the same evidence. The survivors weren't the ones with the most conventional wealth, but the ones who understood human needs: water, medicine, calories, and warmth. Symbols like stock tickers and shiny metal discs only work when people believe in them. We live in a world where the average currency lasts 27 years and global debt is skyrocketing. The pattern of history is not a hypothetical. When the system goes silent, you don't want to be the one holding gold and begging for medicine. You want to be the one providing the solution and naming your price. Understanding these financial forensics is the difference between dependence and leverage.